Hello everybody and welcome to our lovely SVG files for our lovely Winter Wibblers number 2. And again, it's just as adorable, it really is, but the super exciting thing about having SVG files with these is that we can resize them. We already give you those 3 starting points, whether that be the original small and large or original large and extra large, okay? Now the important thing is when you actually go into your reflections and print these off, everything is there for you. So at the base of your reflections on all your pages, you're going to be told what they are. So, Winter Wibblers volume number 2, super simple. And this is the Skinny Christmas Large Decoupage Reversed Reflection. Okay, so that's super easy. So it's the Skinny Christmas Tree, it's the large size, and it's the Decoupage Reverse Reflection. So all of the information you need of where to actually marry it up with your SVG files are always going to be on the bottom of your sheets. So it's just important for me to tell you that. Now, I'm actually quite excited because I've got 2 little demos here for you, okay? One of which I've got a backing paper that has been made with the Minecraft Studio piece of all of this, which is fabulous. So not only are you making and creating things using your SVG files, you can also create your backing papers to match, which is wonderful. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of the matte layers to create a simple base card, okay? So I'm actually using the shaped images. Now you can't do this with your dies. This is only because we're using the scan and cut. So let's have a look at how we can do this. So we're going to go into retrieve data. All of my information is on my USB, so that's where I'm going to click to find it. And then here we have my Winter Wibblers number 2. Then each one is broken down. So easy for you to be able to find everything. So the ones I want are actually our little characters, okay? So we've got Christmas Friends, Trimmings and Frost, Merry, we've got the Peppermint, so these are the little, because don't forget, you're actually getting the reindeers in here as well. So I want my Christmas Friends, so I'll click on that and open it up. Once you open that, you've then got your detail cuts, which these are fabulous for drawing because these actually have all the detailed line cuts like are in a die. Your matte cuts, which is what we're going to work with to actually create the card, and our reflections. So they're the printed images. So the ones I'm working with are my matte cuts. I'm going to go in here, and the ones I've got are my large, okay? So I've already cut out my little large images. So there we go. Click on that, and these are our 3 little friends. Aren't they adorable? Okay, so I'm going to say yes. I'm going to set those on the mat. But I actually want to create a matte layer for these as well, and I'm going to weld them together. So to start off with, I've worked out what I need to do. So I need to actually create matte layers for them all. So I'm going to click on, actually I'm going to duplicate these first. I'm going to edit, group them all together like so, and that means object edit group. Now that opens that up, and I'm going to click 2. I'm going to move one out of the way, ungroup that one, and ungroup this one. So now I've got a spare set out the way that I've got a referral to for the size. So each one of these, I'm going to click on each one, go into my offset image, and it's got 1.5. I'm actually going to take that up to 3. Okay, so that's my first one. Click on the next one. Oops, okay, click on the next one, do the same again. I'm going to take it up to 3. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. And then click on the next one, and again, take that up to 3. Because we're actually, these images are the matte layers of our little characters. So what we're creating now is a larger matte layer that we're going to use to make the card blank. Now, if I show you here on this one, on these arrows, you will then see that these jump about, okay? So that's on the inside one. You can see when it goes to the inside one. So that's the outside one because that's the bigger one. That's the one I want, okay? So I'm going to move that one out of the way. So I'm now going to go back. So that's the bigger one. I'm going to get hold of that and move that out the way. So keep him and then move again. And that is the bigger one. So I'm going to get hold of that and move that out the way. So I want to work with these 3 larger ones. But before I do anything else, I'm going to save all of that to my machine to start off with. So if I do want to move anything, it means that I've actually got it all saved. So far what we've created are some of our mat layers, but this is to create the card base. I'm going to press OK, save to the machine. It will save it. And then we've also got a safeguard. It's something that I do quite a lot, and I'll go back and delete this off once I've done all the work. So now I can delete all of these because I don't need all of this. Quick way, top tip. Part of the mat, if I bring that down like that, click off of that one, those at the top, it won't delete. It will only delete what's in red. So because I've hovered over that and brought that down, it can't see it anymore. It could see those. So that's a quick delete and get rid of all of those. So working with these, I want the tall one in the middle and the 2 smaller ones on each side. I'm going to select everything on the mat, go into alignment, alignment function, everything to the bottom. So they're all in a little row. Press OK. And then working one at a time, I'm going to overlap them. So until he just touches there like that, and then same again until I can see the lines are touching, then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on him, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Press OK, select everything on the mat. We might not have moved it enough, but we'll see, we'll test it. And then we want to weld. There's not enough overlap. Okay, so let's do it again. So go back into a movement. So we'll go, oops. 1, 2, 3, and we'll click on that 1, 2, 3. And let's see again, everything on the mat. It may do it this time because it's a bigger weld. There we go. So if it ever tells you, whenever there's something it can't do, it will say, I can't do that at the minute, but it's just because they weren't overlapped quite enough to weld it. So now we have 1, and I'm going to say, yes, I'm happy with that. I want 2 of these because I'm making a card blank. Well, actually, I need 3. So I'm going to go, I want 2 more. I'm going to move 1 totally out the way and work with this one. So to start off with, I need to rotate this 180 degrees. And then as you can see, if I weld those 2 together, they're not the same people, are they? They're above each other. So we then flip. It's as easy as that. Bring that down here. So move these over this way a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. So we're away from each other. And now we're going to select part of the mat. I'm going to drag that over there because it can't see this now when that line is over it. I'm going to press OK, and I need to go back into alignment, and I need to have them centered, which is there. So they're now aligned centered, okay? They are overlapping. Press OK. So we're all happy with what that on there. I just need to overlap him, look, because he's only just in the middle. So again, we'll do 1 at a time. So bring that down. I'm happy if we only did the one in the middle, the card would be a little bit wobbly. So that extra bit, I'm doing that. I don't want to overlap this because if I bring that all the way down here, I've got a teeny weeny short card. I don't want that. But this is my extra piece that when this is scored and folded over, I'm then going to stick this on and make it a whole card again. So click on there. So again, click on here, part of the mat. So again, whenever we bring that shadow over there, it can't see this anymore. So it's only looking at these 2 pieces. So go back into Object Edit, Weld. Ta-da! Just like that. I love this. Press OK. So bring this up here, like so, because this is all going to be part of our actual card. So I've got some white cardstock, and this is the fun thing about creating with the SVG files, because one, we've created the matte layers already. Remember, we've made those matte layers. They're in the machine waiting for us to cut them out. Okay, like so. Pop this in, up to the rollers and load. But you only ever have to do this once. So once you've actually done this, that's it. You can save it. Save it onto your USBs. I'm going to go all the way through till it tells me I can cut, select, cut, and start. So then this is doing all the other things for us. This is now making that card base. So I can do the fun bits like creating our decoupage pieces of our lovely little characters. And these are adorable. Look at these. I'm just pulling him to one side because I don't want them at. Aren't they super? So again, with the SVG files, the decoupage is even done for us. All we have to do is line it up and cut it out. So taking the little backing pieces of these off. Okay, just line him up, okay, like that. And every time I do a layer, I'm just going to add that little bit of extra shape. So just a little bit of a curve. And then if you like to use your foam tape or your 3D glue gel, if you're using your foam tape and you want more definition, I would just put 2 layers of tape to fill in that dome. Okay, so there's our little gonk. So again, shape our little snowman, and again his decoupage piece. But remember, when we do it as so, here I've done 2 layers because we've only got 2 pieces of decoupage for this. So I've added an extra layer in for him, like so. I think he's just fabulous. He sits on there beautifully. And then same again, we've got our lovely little character. Isn't she adorable? And she sits on just like that. That is the decoupage, okay? So don't be worried when you actually cut her out that you've got a little piece, because her hair would be further forward. If need be, I would put a little bit of wet glue there on her hair just to stick it further in, just to that little bit more clearer. But there are 3 Wibbler characters ready and raring to go. So I'm going to press unload. And we now have our card shapes. Aren't these fabulous? So this is the actual card blank. So let's peel that one off first. I know it looks a little bit bizarre at the moment, but all will come clear. And then peel off what is my matte layer. And I'll show you what I mean by this. When you go and you have a card, we want to keep it looking as professional as possible, don't we? So this folds over. If I'd got my scoring tool and things, I would have done this properly, but for just demonstration purposes, we'll be fine like this, okay? Now we've got these straight edges. We don't want them straight edges because she fits on there. She's okay, she hasn't, but look, he's got a straight piece and he doesn't look very good, does he? And then when we add him on, his little bobbly hat's above there. So to eliminate that happening, we have a whole piece that makes it a whole card again, which is brilliant. So very quickly, a little bit of tape on here. And then we're going to put a little bit of coloured cardstock on, because remember we've got those matte layers. So let's pop that to one side because I can stick that in a second. I'm going to put on coloured card like this. So I've just a little contrasting card like so. I'm happy with everything that we've done here. I don't need any of that again. Now we've done all of that work. If you wanted to, you can save it to your USB. So that card is in there all the time. So I'm going to press home. Okay, retrieve data. Well, where we're retrieving data from this time is the machine. If you remember, I put it into the machine. Right down to the bottom, it's this one. Okay, so I'm going to press OK. So now we're on our workable mat again. These 3 are the larger ones that we made the card blank with. And then we have our little gonk, we have our snowman and that little girl. So these three are what we want, and we're going to do that little tip again. We're going to go into select part of the mat, like so, move those arrows, put those in shadow because it can't see them anymore. Everything else is lit. Press delete, press OK. Now we're going to put all these over here. 1, 2, 3. Now I chose these out of the mat. If you remember, when at the very beginning, I selected the mat layers, and that's what these are. So let it just finish, and press OK, go all the way back through to cut. Let that do the cutting, and while that is doing some cutting, we can actually pop this one together. So we're still making our card blank. 1, 2, 3. Line this up because we're finishing this card off as a whole. Remember, we're giving them so we don't have that straight edge. In fact, let's open it up flat so I'm not fighting with the card. There's all those little legs are lined up. So there we go. And then to add on my mat layers, I'm going to need a little bit of tape on all of these. Take that away, unload my mat. I've got 1, 2, 3. So if I bring this back in, I've got that mat layer. And then I'm going to sit our little character on the mat. So that is a really quick card, especially when you've done all of that work. It's now there ready, sat waiting for you to be able to build and put this together. So that's 1. We've put our little gonk in the middle, remember. Okay, 2. And then that super cute little girl is on there. Take the backing off of here. So there's our fabulous little Mr. Snowman, like so. Our little Wibbler gonk, which is, he's going to go in the middle because he's my tallest little character. So again, he goes on there, like that. And then finally, our lovely little cute character, she sits on there like that. And without using our Brother Scan and Cut or our SVG files, you wouldn't be able to make this. But how adorable is that? I just love it. So remember, we made the card blank from the actual mat layers. We kept the mat layers the same size and made an offset line up to 3 millimeters, which made the outer edge of our card blank. Weld them all together. So again, right at the beginning, made a card blank. Remember, we had 3 because we need that special mat layer that then where we've got the score line creates a whole card again. And that's how we finished that one. So the second one, super quick. Let me clear all this away. I've got everything all ready, but I just love that we've got this. Look how fabulous. Now, this is what David made earlier for me in my craft studio. So we're making our backing papers. So, very quick, we're going to use our normal shapes in here. But again, we can't do this without having our Brother Scan and Cut. So this is my backing paper. Pop this on here, okay? And I'm going to scan this in because now I am going to use one of my normal squares or rectangles to make this card, and I can resize it and I can choose what size it is. But the super thing about it is I can scan this in. So I can fussy cut. So So I'm going to pick a rectangle and set that on my mat. And I know that's not nearly big enough for what I need. So I'm going to go into Edit, Object Edit, and we're going to resize this. So I'm going to go about maybe, there we go, about there. I can always change this. We'll do 17 centimeters, 170 millimeters. Press OK, OK again, and then right through to where we can scan. But scanning it in like this means I can fussy cut and find out which piece of this backing paper I want to use, which again is brilliant. But we can only do this with the Brother Scan and Cut, okay? Because it's the only machine with the scanner that's built in, which again is really, really clever. So I'm going to look at this, pop my glasses on so I can have a look. Now I know I want the reindeer, at least the reindeer like there. So I'm going to go back into Edit. I'm going to see if I can, I don't think I can change the brightness or anything on this. So you have to bear with me because it'll be easier on the overhead camera when I've cut it, unfortunately. So I'm just going to go onto Edit again. I'm going to go into Sizing. So I know that I want a little bit more of this. So to start off with, make that a little bit bigger, like so. And I'm going to bring that over because I can see where I want it. Okay, I'm going to press Unlock aspect ratio, which divides the height and the width. I know we use these technical terms, but all it is that little button there, okay? So now my height, I can make bigger. I'm going to keep bringing that down. Every time I do this, I'm going to have a little look. And I'm really happy with how that size is, okay? So I'm going to press OK, and we're going to cut that one out. So this is the beauty of having this machine. Okay, keep going all the way through to cut. And now we are only just literally cutting because I've got all my pieces ready to build this card. We're just cutting rectangles out to make the card blank. And I've got lovely colourway to go as a matte layer, and then obviously just my white card. But you can do this as a card blank. You could be making this as a piece of wall art or even a door plaque. So that is my first cut, really easy. I'm going to unload the mat and take that away. So now I fussy cut my actual card that I want. So that is now going to be my almost like my topper, okay? So I've got that ready. So that's the little bit that David did for me. I now need a matte layer to pop that on. So I'm going to pop this on here, like so. I'm going to press OK, so I'm happy with that. I'm not changing anything on there just yet. And because I've started with the smallest mat, and I fussy cut this out first and not guessed, all I've got to do now is resize this, because I'm going to go all the way back, Object Edit. Okay, so now Object Edit again, into resize. Take aspect off because I want it to resize it in the right ratio. So if I press that, and I'm only going to do it 3 times. In fact, let's be for 4, okay? Press OK, OK again, all the way through, and cut. So now I'm making my matte layers. So my card blank, when I do this, so my matte layer is going to be perfect to put my topper on, and then this one is going to be perfect to put my card blank onto my card blank. So while that is doing that, a little bit of tape, whoops, top and bottom. That's my topper. Unload my mat, take this one off, and that is now my matte layer. So when I sit that on there, ooh, I've got a lovely little matte layer, and how precise is that? That's beautiful. So now press OK again. I'm not going to take anything off of this. And so I get this done, I'm only going to cut 1 of these, but you would cut 2 of these to make your card base. Just checking I've got 1 piece of card. pop that on there, like so. Go back into edit, object edit, resize, and then I'm going to go move that across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go 6. I'm quite happy with that. Okay, so I've actually increased that by 6 millimeters. Now, by increasing it by 6 millimeters, I've given myself a 3 millimeter all the way around the edge gap. Okay, because I've got 3 millimeters on this side and 3 millimeters on this side, so it makes 6. Yeah. So again, we've only got a small matte layer on this, but that's how the beauty of using the Scan and Cut, that it's millimeter by millimeter alterations. Okay, okay again, oops, and cut. So that can be cut in. Yes, please. It says, do you want to cut? Absolutely. So these are my 2 matte pieces. And then I have all my other little characters ready and raring to go. So, and again, the machine is doing all the cutting, and what we're doing, we're making the card while that's busy doing the other pieces. So, I'm happy with where that is aligned. So that would cut 2 of those and then glue it across the top. But for speed, just done the 1. Okay. So again, pop him on here. Glasses on. So there we go. I'm happy with that. Align that up. So there's several things we can do now, because I've got all my little things, all my little characters all cut out. But look how fabulous this would be, that I've made this as a topper and that then sits on the front of there. It could even be that I have it like that and that is the card, and when it stands up, that is the card base to stand it up. So really we've done several different cards here all in one go. But I've got my trees and I've got my lovely little characters all ready and raring to go. So that's 1. Oops, lining back up again. And again, adding those extra layers of decoupage really does make a difference. That's 2. And our cute little girl, who's just adorable. Okay, and now we can set these on here. So I've taken the backing off already. And now, even with our trees, we've even got decoupage. And remember, with all of these reflections, you get your normal way, you get the reverse reflection, and you get the decoupage and reversed reflection decoupage as well. So there's a lot more to the actual SVG files than meets the eye there. And then all of the resizability is just incredible. Okay, so I've got my 3 little trees. And even though the lovely David has popped him on here, I'm actually going to hide him away. Oops. So he is going to be hidden. I want one of my trees over here, like so. So we're creating this lovely little scene. And I'm using all of the large images, okay? So I haven't used the smaller images, I've used the larger ones. So this is even bigger. And I took him in there like that. And then a lovely little gonk is going to sit on there. So we've made 2 fabulous little cards using the SVGs. So they're different sizes to the originals. So these are the large sizes. They are reverse reflections. So he's looking this way, but look, he's looking this way. Or you could put them side by side together and they could be having a conversation. So I love that we get the reverse reflections. And that's all because we're using a Brother Scan and Cut with our fabulous SVGs. I hope you've enjoyed that little bit of inspiration. I would love to see if you have a go at make these. So send all those images in to highlightcrafts.com and we'll see you all again soon. So you take care. Bye.
If you want to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button. Subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below and click the bell icon to receive notifications of all of our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video or click here to see more videos like this one.